Chapter 2, Part 2. Still, the gods didn't just step out of a closet and say hello. Some were linked to natural phenomena, such as thunder and lightning. Zeus supposedly hurled lightning bolts, so did the Norse god Thor. Other gods reflected human activity, such as war, fertility, and agriculture. Several dealt with human attributes, such as wisdom, love, and hate. Societies imagined gods responsible for every aspect of life, including death. Concern about death and its aftermath led to gods of the underworld, like Hades. In Norse lore, the gods and heroes gather in a hunting lodge in a heavenly Valhalla. Zoroaster added a heaven to reward followers and a hell to punish non-believers. That idea crept into Christianity and Judaism. Jews later dropped that afterlife concept and allow that their dead are simply asleep, awaiting God's embrace. Some religions are very old, especially the animistic concepts followed by ancient tribes still inhabiting places like Borneo and the Amazon jungle. They believe that everything in the world, even inanimate objects like rocks, has self-consciousness. The vast majority of religions are based on this concept, going back into earliest human history. Nevertheless, any list of the oldest religions invariably start with Hinduism and Judaism, whose origins are smothered by time and mythology. Various proposals have been suggested for how each began. Considered the oldest existing organized religion, dating back possibly 4,000 years ago. Hinduism is really a collection of philosophies around a central core that proposes that humans escape into the universe after overcoming multi-life experiences, called karma. To Hindus, the spark of God inhabits all people and everything in the world. God then can be manifest in multiple forms, which to outsiders seem like thousands of gods. The religion originated with the Aryan conquest of India. In one proposal for the birth of the religion, the Aryan conquerors built on existing ideas, adding a caste system and imprisoning the former societal elite in the untouchable category with the karmic promise that they could atone for their misbehavior in the next life. Judaism grew from ancient Canaanite faiths. Historians can find no evidence of an invasion by an outside culture, as would have happened if the biblical account of the conquest of Canaan was accurate. One modern theory proposes that poor people rose against their affluent neighbors under Yahweh, needing a different god than their enemies in a civil war. That's based on archaeological findings that wealthier sections of some communities were destroyed while the slums survived. Another theory is that Yahweh was the god of the forge and patron of metallurgists in the 3rd millennium BCE. The god's name appears in the Babylonian pantheon, and Yahweh was known to have been worshipped by other tribes in the region, including Edomites, Kenites, Moabites, and Midianites. Scholars have found some evidence that Edomites converted an earlier Egyptian temple to the worship of Yahweh. One of my books focuses on the proposal that Judaism resulted from a fusion between Edomite and Canaanite beliefs. Searches of ancient Israeli trash heaps, called middens, have dug up one community that did not leave behind any pig bones in contrast with their neighbors. That could have been the forerunner of the kosher laws which has characterized Jewish culture in succeeding generations. As noted earlier, Jews were definitely not monotheists at first, but, according to the Bible, were assigned to Yahweh. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples, according to the number of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. Deuteronomy 32:8-9. The second commandment, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," does not preclude other gods. It simply insists that the Jewish deity has priority. That God is an amalgam of deities, as indicated in the traditional Jewish watchword of the faith. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, Adonai, our God, Eloheinu, is one. That means that the gods represented by different names are actually the same God. That's emphasized by the fact that the name Adonai is derived from the Greek god Adonis. The same process allowed Judaism to absorb other deities, such as El, a bull god who lives on in names like Rachel and Nathaniel. The identical approach was taken in Islam, which insists Allah has 99 beautiful names. At one time, each of these names would have represented a different god, a concept that is abhorred by Muslims, who fervently believe in a single God named Allah. Jews became true monotheistic when threatened by the invading Babylonian army about 600 years BCE. Their priests assured them that if they discarded the other gods, whose images were in the temple, then God would protect them. They eliminated such revered deities as the snake god of Moses, but no one told the Babylonians that they were supposed to go home. In 597, they captured Jerusalem, eventually destroyed the first temple, and took many of the residents back to Babylon in captivity. Nevertheless, Jews have been fiercely monotheistic ever since, with a portable God who is no longer limited to Israel. Once religion becomes established, it usually codifies a set of beliefs. They can be based on an older religion that the founder was hoping to reform. For example, Martin Luther, a Catholic monk in the 1500s, initiated the religion that bears his name that way. He posted a list of 97 complaints against the Roman Catholic Church, and, facing arrest and possible execution, offered his version of the Christianity by turning to the recently invented printing press for publicity, and for protection to German princes eager to tax land then held by the Church. Rabbi Abraham Jiger founded Reform Judaism in the 1830s to help Jews cope with changing environments after immigration. Rabbi Isaac Wise brought the concept to the United States, where Jewish immigrants had trouble finding a kosher butcher and other necessities to live an Orthodox lifestyle. Rejecting Orthodox restrictions, Zecharia Frankel founded what became known as Conservative Judaism in 1854. Solomon Schechter brought the concept to the United States early in the 20th century. Regardless of their origin, for millennia, religions have been widespread and an integral part of human lives. Their role remains significant even as societies today seem to be edging away from traditional faiths. Psychiatrists have identified a part of the brain orientated toward religion, which is understandable in a species with few physical weapons, such as fangs and talons. Humans survived by working in tandem. Religion then provided the matrix that glued ancient societies into a cohesive unit. The great monuments, such as Babylonian ziggurats and Egyptian, Greek, and Roman temples, could not have been built without everyone working together in honor of their deities. Public zeal in support of religious beliefs led directly to the massive churches, mosques, and other religious buildings that still dot cities. The late Yale professor Jaroslav Pelikan won numerous awards with his persuasive research showing that Christianity is at the base of Western civilization. Roman and Greek gods also propped up their cultures. The founders of religions were able to tap into that innate sense inside everyone and generate beliefs, many of which linger on despite the passage of years.